So with this, let's start out with the most important day. And the most important day is syllabus day. When it comes down to it, on syllabus day, you are setting the expectations for your class. Like this is where students are gonna be like, this is how I'm gonna treat this class. This is how the class is in my head. I have gone to my fiance and been like, I have messed up the first day. I made a fool of myself. I didn't set the expectations well enough. So what I try to do is in the first minute, I try to grab their attention, and I've got about a half a trillion ways to grab their attention. One of my favorite ways is to do something crazy, like hop in my DeLorean right here, turn on a little music. I think I have the music going. Usually, okay. I didn't want anything to play. Okay, good. We're good to go. So I might hop in my DeLorean. I might play my sound effects. And I think I can actually drive my DeLorean right now, which is awesome. Cool. Here we go. So I might just like head off the screen or something right here. I don't know. Usually it grabs their attention. We like to have some fun and do something crazy. I also have a bunch of intros that I use for my students. Let me get one of my intros ready right here. We've got Marvel intros. So I'll usually start class. They'll be waiting for the class to start, and they'll see like the UT Marvel intro right here. They'll be like, "Whoa, what's going on? This is Stat 201?" My other favorite intro. Everything is usually video game related. Here we go. It's probably my favorite intro right here. And usually this creates, I've still got my logos going. 2 seconds. There we go. They'll go away. I try to create some sort of amusement or entertainment and draw them in. And usually I can watch the chat as this is going on since it's live on YouTube, and I'll show some examples of that here in a moment. But it's funny to see their reaction to these things as they say, "Wait, what is this? What is this? Is this a movie? Is this a show? What am I watching? Is this class?" So creating this marvel, this spectacle of entertainment, I think is important to draw them in, to grab their attention. And then from then on, we're going to talk to them. So Chris, Ray, Josh, Renee, Lauren, Jay, Charity in the chat. If you have any questions, this is how I interact with my students. First thing when I go to class, I could pull up one of the videos. I'm always saying hey to them in the chat first thing when I start the lecture, because they're usually in the side of the chat on YouTube talking. And I can show you in office hours here rather than, because those are public on YouTube. You know what? I do have those pulled up to show, just to show you. Here are office hours videos. This is yesterday's office hours. So this was broadcast on YouTube yesterday, has 341 views. There's Kayla in the chat right there. And these are public on YouTube. Students understand it says in syllabus on a public video, their comments will be public. Kayla was asking if we could do something, and I responded, you bet, just in case that's a little bit blurry. And we go through and we're doing the work right here. I'll mute myself, but you can see people replying and responding in the chat and just going through different students coming in, asking questions. If you're wondering, the names are blue because they're moderators, and I'm going through working examples right here. And also one big thing I love about YouTube is I can put timestamps in the video so students can go to the portion of the question that they want explained, so they can actually go to the moment I'm doing it, and I've got my cuts between the videos. So these are the timestamps students can actively go to see what I'm talking about and when I'm talking about it right here. And we see a lot of utilization from this. This office hours video has 615 views, 984 views. And we also do some other fun stuff, like we play Among Us. Every once in a while I'll play games with students, and they were destroying me in Among Us. If you know Among Us, they were winning and I was losing. But it was a lot of fun. We also play Kahoots online. There's office hours. Here's the weekly Kahoot we play. And so we go over the topics and explain the topics and go over the graphics. But creating this engagement right here is my goal, that we have the students in here at all times interacting and talking to each other. I'll talk more about this point system here in a second, but the goal is to keep them engaged and to keep them talking throughout the lecture. So I'm always trying to read off the names right here, whether it be Kinga, Caitlin, or Courtney. Anytime they reply, I can see it right there on the screen. So you have to be talking to your students. And I think we all know that. And I think that's what maybe we lost when we went online. So what I want to encourage people to do, if you haven't done this, is to buy a second monitor. Maybe you've done this, or hopefully UT can finance it. But this is my office setup right here. I'm in front of this right now. You can see the microphone right here that I'm currently speaking into. And I'm looking at your chat right here on the screen. So if anyone has a question mid presentation right here, feel free to put it in the chat and I'll respond to it while the presentation's happening. This is where I do the work when I'm doing examples and drawing out examples for students. And then I'm very lucky through the Haslam College of Business and through how we've been growing this even before the pandemic with the technology we're using. I consider myself very, very lucky to have a very high-tech camera, lighting, multiple screens, and multiple cameras. So a big thank you because it really helps with delivering high quality online education. It does come down to sometimes having certain resources. I really think it's important to track students' interactions online because a lot of students don't feel like they get anything out of it. Besides, just getting their questions answered, I want students to know that they're also getting points. I'm going to talk more about the gamification and how I do that for my class, but track students' interactions. So, if I'm going to offer you one bit of advice, have some way to reward students for interacting in class, even if it's just saying, hey, if we do this, there'll be, we'll do 5 points on the assignment or whatever you want to do, just small additional bonuses. I like to do stuff like that for my students where they get a bonus at the end of the semester the more they're interacting in class. Finally, although I'm tons of fun, I hope I'm tons of fun. I do get serious on the first day of class. All my classes have a first day assignment. And like I said at the start of this, I think you have to set the pace for the first day. You have to make it clear, like, we're going to have some fun, but we're also going to get serious. So I give an assignment to my students. Usually it's something small, whether it be like installing R on their computer. For my classes in 320, we install R. Whether it be 201, I ask them to do things like install jump or maybe to just take a random sample, but it's usually something small that they can do in 5 to 10 minutes. But I think it also makes your class a little bit of a priority for them. They say, okay, I need to put this down in my planner. I need to work on this every week. And this is a class I need to remember about. But I do try to keep this in my mind that interaction takes priority. If if you just try to go through material, which I've done, I have many times been like, I have to get through these slides. I'm not going to finish the material. This semester, I feel a little bad because in one of my classes, I'm about half a lecture short of where I usually get to. And then I remind myself, it's not about flying through material. It's about helping students remember the material you go through. So if we're interacting and we're talking and we're creating a conversation around what we're learning, then it's okay if we get through 90-95% of the material. I If my students retain that 90-95%, 5-10 years from now, I'd be amazed. Thinking back on the classes I took, it's hard for me to even remember one or two relevant things from a course if I were to look at my syllabuses. I'd be like, okay, I took this class 20 years ago. What is one thing I can tell you I learned in that course? And I'd hope students can tell me things they remember in my courses. And I'm probably going to do that not by flying through material, but by interacting with them. So we have to slow ourselves down. If the students aren't talking to us, I think that's when the learning stops. So getting the students to talk to you online, creating that conversation is the top thing.